Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Please like and subscribe, it helps me massively and I do very much appreciate it. Okay, with this opening clip, what we're looking at here is some rather poor parking. Now there's a lorry down here on the right, it's offloading, they're just trying to do their job. But the gap they've left, or did they get their second? I'm not entirely sure, but there's some vehicles parked on the left, so it's really who got their second. Because the gap through here is really poor, the visibility is even worse, and for a learner trying to deal with this is quite difficult. But more importantly, what about if there was a larger vehicle trying to access this? It'd be really awkward. If we have a little look from the back view on approach, you will see nothing coming behind us, but you get a better proportion on the gap. I'm just thinking, although we were able to squeeze through without too much problem, something had come the other way, it would have been awkward. But imagine if there would have been a larger vehicle trying to get through here. It would have been too easy, and it weren't too easy for a learner. Okay, let's move on. Now in this clip here we're coming up to a T-junction where we're looking to turn right, and this is just about poor driving. Whether it's to do with a learner or not, I'm not entirely sure. But if somebody's looking to turn into this road and they're coming from our right as we see it, from there they will be looking to pass us and turn in this road on this side and drive down on that left hand side as you see it. And there is a car coming behind us, but what happens is this, and this is pretty poor lazy driving in my opinion. What the hell is this guy thinking of? Turning in behind us on the wrong side of the road. And then he has to slow right down to deal with that car coming the other way. That could have ended up so much worse. Very poor driving there, I think. Okay, let's move on. Okay, and this clip here is about that cyclist that just passed us. If you have a look at the front, the lights are red and the cars on the left there are moving off. Now this cyclist comes up on the left hand side, ignores the red light completely, goes over the white line, keeps creeping forward. He doesn't actually want to stop, of course, does he? He's looking for a gap, of course, in the traffic. The light's now changed green for us, so now he can access. But again, that's poor for a cyclist, just ignoring a typical red light as always, it seems. And in this clip, cyclists again, look, similar scenario, coming through, red light, people are crossing the road. I think the only thing in their favour, the fact that they go through the red light, is that it was quite clear the other side. But it doesn't deter from the fact it is a red light, they're using the road and they should adhere to it accordingly. Another time, another place, it can get completely dangerous in similar situations. Okay, on a completely different note in this clip. This is about, initially, it's about a car on the left hand side. Look at that, I love that, I love classics. It's an American car of some nature, I'm not sure what it is, but I do love it. I've got to say, I like it a lot. If we have a little look from the back, now something I want to point out here is the car behind the red car. He's pulling out, doesn't see that American car, which seems to have been broken down actually. He sees it at the last moment, so how far was he looking ahead? Not that far, was he? There it is, look, lovely. I don't know what type it is, but I do like it. I do like it a lot. Okay, as we move on, I want to have a look at the front again. We're coming up to some red lights, and this little bit clip here, just to finish off, is about two motorbikes. We have the cycle lane there in front of us, and we've got a qualified rider coming up and a learner. As you can see, as the first bike comes up to these red lights, it is actually the learner. And where do they stop? In the bike lane. Where does the qualified rider stop? Where they should stop. So it just goes to show, at the end of the day, you know, learning the rules of the road is quite important. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, in this clip here, I wanted to include this one. I'm actually driving the car going to my first lesson of the day. The reason I wanted to include this, I wanted to show you the fact that while you need to pay attention on the roads, and we get so many people on mobile phones and such like not paying attention, I want you to bear that in mind as well as this pans out, where people don't pay attention to where they're driving, or they mess about in the car, or they're drinking or eating, or whatever the case may be. You've got to be focused all the time. As I'm driving down here, I'm in a 40 mile per hour limit. I've got a distance to the car in front because the one behind me is a little bit closer than I would like, so I'm driving accordingly. Now what's going to happen is around the corner someone is going to do something on the road, a child, and it scared me quite a lot actually, but watch it pan out. As we get closer I'm going to slow it down because I want you to see and understand what's actually going on here. As we get closer, who saw that on approach? That's hidden with the backness of the bush behind, but it's a young girl on a bike. She doesn't look in this direction at all. The distance between there and there is about 4 car lengths. She doesn't look this way. I'm braking quite hard here. She looks to the left. She never once looks to the right. That was a scary moment for me, and it's why you need to pay attention at all times. If I would have got there like it says there 2 seconds later, she didn't look to the right, she would have went in front of me. This could have been something completely different. And it's why, you know, I emphasize everybody to pay attention when they're driving on the road. They never know when a situation like that is likely to occur. And it really was a scary moment for me. Anyway, let's move on to the next clip. Okay, in this clip on a slightly lighter note, this is about clearance on our side, which we have, and non-clearance on the right side of the road, and somebody just couldn't really be bothered to slow down and let us through. But more importantly, it's about the postman on the right hand side. He's working on the back of his van, so a little consideration to him would have been good. It's not this car here, it's the one behind him. So as we've gone through, he could have slowed there, look, but no, he's got to come through. Look at the gap there. Back doors are open. Far too close for my liking there at all. Just sort of kind of lack of consideration all round really as he went through there. He obviously just didn't want to stop at all. And you see them guys there, they are working at the back of the van. Anyway, on to the next. Okay, this is about a pedestrian. Lights are red, they've got the green man, they're crossing, all's well. All's working out as it should be on the road. Now pretty much everybody has crossed there. And the light is still green at the moment, but it will change. It's just changed red there now. That means no more crossing. Now this guy on the right, he actually has a look at us. Turns around, looks at us and thinks, okay, I know it's a red man, but never mind, I'm just going to cross anyway, even the lights are green. His age, he should know better. Okay, in this clip here, we're in Kingston, big one-way system. And this is really just about poor discipline and awareness going on around you. Very important to stay in your lane, certainly when it's busy. I've seen it a lot busier than this. We're going to come back to this white car and the one to the left and the red one in just a second. I want to just show you what's going on behind briefly on approach. Look at this van here crossing over that white line. Thankfully the car to his left wasn't too close. As we come around another bend, he does the same thing again, cuts round into the road, and then on this bend here he does it even worse. He literally almost goes into the other lane completely, and that's not very good at all in lane position. He's thankful that there was nothing closer to him at that point, because he's going in the same direction as us. Now going back to the front camera again, the two cars in question, the white one, watch them both cut the lanes as they go around, just slightly, but enough. Thankfully there was no cars to either side of them they could have got close to. And as they go around this bend, they do the same thing again, the pair of them crossing that white line, can't even stay in their own lane. Now that red car, by the way, wants to go where the white car is. He indicates now, but he is in the blind spot of this other car. So the car sees him very, very late, brakes, he has to squeeze in there, then go in behind. Poor attention to detail, poor attention to road positioning. Overall, not very good for all those cars, and I've seen that a lot worse as well. But these are the sort of things where accidents come from, scrapes and bangs. Okay, let's move on. This clip here, this is one of my pet hates, certainly when the learners are driving, and I wish people would keep their distance. Remember, we are dealing with a wide angle lens, so they're a lot closer than what they appear to be. We're braking at this point, and how close does this BMW get? closer, and he keeps pinching and pinching and pinching and pinching so you can barely see his grill anymore. There's literally no need for this. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's extremely poor driving. And as I said, that's a hell of a lot closer than what it appears on the camera. It doesn't really do it too much justice. Okay, let's move on. Okay, in this clip here, lorry on the right hand side, look how much room there is. Car comes pushing past, show it from the back view initially. Absolutely stupid driving there on the face of a learner car. Have a look at it from the front view as we're approaching. We're already well committed there. He could have slowed down very easily. There's no room there at all, but proceeded totally regardless he was facing a learner car. I put it in slow so you can see that's really close and so very unnecessary. That's some extremely poor driving there, facing a learner head on. Okay, in this clip here, we're approaching some lights ahead and we want to go straight on. So my pupil is looking for the warning signs on the road, and there we go. He suddenly knows where he has to be. That's for right, that's for straight on. It couldn't be clearer than that. Well, unless you are a person in a big fancy white car. Can see there's right indication there. They've been indicating right up until they approached. Then when my pupil and I see that intentional creep forward, we know what's coming. So my pupil does exactly the right thing, very impressive, gets away a little bit slower, knows what this car's going to do. You know, it was staring us in the face. Again, arrogant, self-entitled driving, happens all the time, but I'm glad my pupil was on the ball there and totally aware of that before it happened. Good stuff. Okay, for me, it's this guy here turning on the wrong side of the road. Could have been really bad. Different circumstances. It's totally unacceptable. Please like and subscribe. I very much appreciate it. And I look very much to seeing you again on the next video. Take care for now. Look after yourself. Bye-bye.